I think Bitcoin is trash, even though I've made a lot of money on it. It is old technology. It is slow technology. It is expensive technology. It is at the top of its S curve.
Hello and welcome to the Daily Crypto. We have the founder of Pulse Chain, Richard Hart, with us. He's going to explain why he thinks it's too late to get into Bitcoin and why Hex is the better alternative. Some of his statements are a bit controversial, so make sure to watch this video till the end and let us know in the end how you feel about them. Let's start with the video.
So how do you beat this rat race? If you choose the asset which has the highest native gain, which is cryptocurrency, you do not have to invest as much in it. You do not have to take on leverage and loans to try and amplify the movements. You can just sit there and withstand any drawdown. Bitcoin has drawn down 85% 4 times. That's a huge difference. That means you had $100 and now you've got $15 had you bought the top. But every time it's done that, it's gone on to make new all-time highs. When I got into Bitcoin, it was 50 cents, and today it's $24,000. That's a 48,000x return. That's 48 million%. That is a huge, massive, gigantic return that nothing else in history has ever done. And you could call it a bubble, you could call it a Ponzi, you could call it an MLM. None of it's true. Bubbles pop and they don't come back. This one keeps making new all-time highs. Now, I will warn you, I think Bitcoin is trash, even though I've made a lot of money on it. It is old technology, it is slow technology, it is expensive technology, it is the top of its S curve. It keeps dumping the same amount, but not pumping as hard as it used to. It's falling over. The world's richest guy already bought. Nation states already legalized it. You are not an early adopter. This is a 13-year-old technology.
This advice applies to almost every crypto investor hoping to get rich quick. This is a game of patience, and when you utilize leverage, you amplify your risk. It's a double-edged sword, and most likely will hurt you. Richard says he got rich by buying Bitcoin at extremely low prices. However, his view of Bitcoin has changed now that it's worth thousands of dollars. He says it's too late to get rich off Bitcoin and investors should try to look for other opportunities.
But people think that they're early. From the COVID dip, Bitcoin went down to $3,800. Ethereum went down to $88. I don't remember how low Hex went. But then Bitcoin went up about 20x, Ethereum went up about 60x, and Hex went up hundreds or thousands of x. And why would you want the thing that is less performative? I don't understand why so many people are happy to promote the old, slow, limp gains technology. Now look, a 30x, which Bitcoin did, or a 20x in a year and a half, it's not bad. It's still more money than you would have gotten the S&P 500 in 100 years, probably. I've got the chart in front of me. I could keep scrolling back, and the gains are better now than they have recently because the money's not worth anything.
We know that Richard is no longer a Bitcoin fan, and he has his valid reasons. He says Hex is a far superior investment as compared to Bitcoin because it's new and goes up significantly more than Bitcoin and Ethereum. It's not at the top of the S-curve and consistently pumps multiple times from new lows.
Force yourself to hold your Bitcoin from $1 to $69,000. But if so many people sold on a 2x, a 3x, a 10x, they sold their own future, but they didn't know it because they didn't lock themselves up for time. In Hex, you lock yourself up for time, and the whole time you're sitting there, you're making interest, you're making inflation. The same thing the Bitcoin miners give to themselves all the time for destroying the environment, Hex holders get for free without having to destroy the environment. Because we mine time, and time doesn't cost anything, kind of, but destroying the environment is very costly. And those miners, they not only destroy the environment, they sell down the price. In Hex, we don't have to sell down the price to pay miners to destroy the environment. It's more efficient. There's less negative externalities. So the price performance is superior. So basically, Hex is just Bitcoin with a proof of work change.
When you stake Hex, your crypto gets locked up for a fixed period of time, and you can't withdraw before that period is over. Think of all the gains you could make if you were forced to hold on to your crypto instead of selling it for a small profit.
People think Bitcoin ownership's decentralized. And then I show them that 42% of all Bitcoin sits in 2,000 addresses, but it doesn't register in their head. Then I show them that like 2% of all Bitcoin addresses hold like 90% of all the coins. Still doesn't register in their head. So Centralized ownership and control is awesome. That's why Tesla has done so well. That's why Facebook has done so well. That's why Amazon has done so well, because the founders own and control massive portions. Stuff that's actually decentralized, like you could say the government, sucks. Nobody's good at anything. It's all trash. And so I have to de-educate them of the centralized ownership. And if you look at Hex's ownership, there is massive centralization there. You know, there's so many people sacrificed for the new coins. Well, so the first sacrifice was to support freedom of speech and the Sense Foundation, a charity to do medical research. It raised $27 million for them. Then the next sacrifice was for freedom of movement, because COVID really messed that up for everybody. Everyone was basically in house arrest without committing a crime. I'm not a fan. And then that one generated a lot of, so there was an address, if you sent money to it, you sacrificed it, you get nothing in return. But because some people noticed that you did that, you're gonna get free coins on this new network. I've forked the Ethereum network. You can go use it now on the test net. It's fun. You can play with all your coins. In the bear market, what could be better than playing with your coins for fun? No risk. Go to pulsechain.com and you can go play with your free coins. Eventually, the mainnet will come out, hopefully soon.
Richard says that some kind of centralization is necessary if we want to see the crypto industry grow, because decentralization prevents growth. He mentions that Hex is a very centralized project, and it's a sustainable store of value.
It has centralized ownership, but that's awesome. It did 10,000x like that in 2 years. Aren't you happy I educated you about centralized ownership power? Second, the liquidity. It has lower liquidity than other things. Okay, so what's liquidity mean? Liquidity means if you want to buy, there's always someone to take the other side. If you want to sell, there's always someone to take the other side. Okay, so like if you want low liquidity on the sell side so that the price moves up more because there's less for sale. And that's what the time locking does. People on average lock for 7 years. That's a long time. That's Nobel Prize worthy. No one has ever locked up this much money for this long. If you buy a house, you can sell it. You buy a T-bond, you can sell it. T-bill or bond. But if you lock up your Hex for 15 years, you're not getting it back out until 7.5 without losing principal. You can get out, if you serve half your time, you can get out by just losing your interest. And it's prorated. You know, the longer you stay, the less penalty you pay. If you do what you said you're going to do, you don't pay any penalty at all. You do very well. You mint yourself new Hex. So the claims to fame for Hex are no counterparty risk. Vast majority of trading is on chain. No one can shut it down. No one can stop it. I die, website goes offline. Doesn't matter. More secure than Bitcoin. Up 250x versus Bitcoin. Up 70x versus Ethereum. It did 10,000x versus the dollar. 100% perfect, flawless uptime. Microsoft goes down. Google was down yesterday for half an hour globally. Hex has never been down. So it's vastly superior, unique, great logo, great founder. Hex.com, 3-letter dictionary.com. That's all the upside.
Hex is the perfect alternative to Bitcoin investment-wise because it's more secure, has no counterparty risk, and moves up significantly more than Bitcoin. Do you think Hex is a better choice than Ethereum or Bitcoin for the long term? Do you agree with Richard's view? Let us know in the comments because we would love to hear what you guys have to say. Support us by liking this video and subscribing to our channel to keep watching videos like these on a daily basis.